What's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG WTF LOL FTW BRB, otherwise known as the future of professional wrestling Stephen Pym. With me is the last biker riding, Chris Omega. Say hello, my friend.
What is up?
And we're back for another week, surprisingly, to do another review of Monday Night Raw, the go home episode of Monday Night Raw, leading up to WrestleMania 31. And we've been trying to do this for a while, so I just say, like last week, let's just jump right into it. You know, let's just jump right into it. Opening segment. We start off with the icon Sting, WCW's legend, or what do they call him?
Soldier.
The soldier, or the
The
franchise. They
the
call him the
last
franchise,
the
right?
last WCW soldier.
Yeah, the franchise of WCW, the last WCW soldier, makes his way down to the Monday Night Raw ring, and he grabs the microphone and finally Sting talks on Monday Night Raw. It was a great part. It was great to actually hear his voice on WWE. It was just like it's kind of one of those surreal moments. Like, wow, this is real. It's like finally happening. Um, Briefly just came out and spoke about his reasonings. He wasn't here to, help, revenge for WCW. He was just here to take down Triple H. Out comes Stephanie McMahon, and McMahon, kind of scolds him and picks on him a little bit, saying you lost, and even said welcome to the big league now or something. Sting just kind of shoots back at her, calling her a spoiled brat that has everything handed to her, but thought she, despite all that, thinks she's earned it. And Stephanie goes for the slap. She has probably the dumbest look on her face ever, like, I'm the victim or something here, like, oh god, it was silly as hell. Out comes Triple H's music plays. He comes, taking off all his tie and shit. And Stephanie has a big smile on her face, whatever. And right away I knew, I had a feeling we were going to see Triple H be all like, you touched my wife or something? And he goes up to Stephanie and said, did he touch you? And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I knew it was gonna happen. It was one of those like silly moments. Stephanie like pulls out a sledgehammer as well, and it kind of was awkward looking. It looked like she was trying to seduce you in a way. And hands it to Triple H, but Sting, smooth as he is, pulls out a baseball bat. We have like a little bit of a stare down between the two, where Triple H kind of refuses to get in the ring, despite Sting saying, "Let's do this, come on." Uh, it was a great segment. I enjoyed the
Oh yeah,
hell out of that segment.
that was a good way to open Monday Night Raw.
Hmm.
It was Sting. Sting spoke on Monday Night Raw.
Not only did he speak on Raw, but we saw the stare down between him and Triple H, and him outsmarting the Authority, which doesn't happen very often. And we got to see him and Stephanie in the ring, which is like the next greatest thing to him and Mr. McMahon in the ring.
Oh yeah,
It was
absolutely.
just an awesome segment. It made me excited for the upcoming WrestleMania match between Triple H and Sting. I think it's gonna
That's
be a
gonna be
great match.
that's gonna be one of the matches that just has you like, wow, did
Hmm.
that just really happen?
Yeah. So following that, sorry if you guys heard that. I just popped my jaw. Following that, we it was kind of a lead up, or a hype way for the Intercontinental title match for WrestleMania. It was Ambrose teaming up with R-Truth to take on Stardust and Luke Harper. And Bad News Barrett was on commentary as well. He wasn't that bad on commentary either. He was really well, actually, if you ask me. Match really wasn't anything special. There was one little funny part, I thought, where the crowd was chanting Cody at Stardust, and he goes over to Luke Harper, and Harper like covers his ears. I thought it was a like little funny, cute segment, I guess. But the match really, like I said, it wasn't anything special. I noticed that R-Truth really wasn't in the ring that often, actually, at all. It was really Dean Ambrose holding the weight for his team, while you had Stardust kind of, I wouldn't say holding the weight for his team. He was in the ring a lot more than Luke Harper, but Harper was in there as well. Like I said, it was a good match. I wouldn't say it was a bad match, but I wouldn't recommend this. Like if someone was looking to watch a great wrestling matches, I wouldn't say you got to check out Ambrose and Truth versus Stardust and Harper. It was a little throwaway match, just to get a little bit of hype for the Intercontinental title.
I thought it was pretty decent. I mean, it had its high moments.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Like I said, yeah, it had its high moments, but it wasn't a
I
bad match.
mean,
But I wouldn't
the
recommend it
only
to anybody.
the thing I didn't like was at the end, like, Truth's like, oh, come on, Dean, dance. Like, you're trying to turn Dean Ambrose into like this lunatic guy. Lunatics don't dance.
It was kind of funny though. It didn't bother me that much. It's a lot better than him spraying ketchup in people's faces and slime time with Dean Ambrose or something. I mean, it was silly. It kind of brought me back to Too Cool when everybody would dance with Too Cool, you know. So
Hmm.
I didn't see it that bad. And Barrett got away freely, no damage done to him. So after that, we immediately had not immediately, but we had a 10-man tag team match. It was a way to hype up the upcoming Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. It was Ryback teaming up with Eric Rowan, the primetime players, and you'll never guess who, Zack Ryder. Ryder managed to get some time on Monday Night Raw. That's a surprise.
I liked it.
Yeah, they were taking on The Miz, Damian Mizdow, The Ascension, and Adam Rose. And again, nothing wrong with the match really. It was not a great match. It was an all right match. Good. It was decent. Nothing too bad with it. Nothing too exciting really happened. Just a way to kind of get a little bit of hype towards the Memorial Battle Royal. The thing I did like was kind of how like everybody got a chance to highlight something.
Yeah,
You know,
everybody did either their signature or
yeah.
one of their moves. Like Ryder got to do the broski boot.
He
When
got to
was
do
the
the
last time?
broski boot, the ascension, got to do a little bit of teamwork together. We even
You
got to see
know,
a little bit of dissension between Miz and Mizdow as Mizdow got in the ring, and then Miz immediately tag me in, and then starts counting it down. Rowan got to go in there. PTP got in there. As we mentioned before, Zack Ryder. Adam Rose kind of served as the beat up doll for everybody. And I think Miz actually lost the match with Ryback pinning him with the
Ryback.
shell shock, and Damian Mizdow kind of um, you played it off like he came in late. Wasn't Bill Simmons on commentary for this match?
Bill Simmons was on commentary,
That's
and
what I thought.
what you know, I thought it was gonna be a bust having him on Raw. He is actually really good commentator.
Yeah, he
He
wasn't bad,
is.
dude. Last week I think
He
you
knows
told me
his
he was
stuff.
a schmuck, didn't you?
I did call him a schmuck, but he does know his wrestling. And listen, I'll give credit where credit's due. And
He was better than Mike
Bill
Adamle, like they
Simmons,
said.
Bill Simmons, if you're hearing this, which I doubt you are, but pretty good job, man. Wouldn't mind seeing him on commentary again.
He even joked around saying if you ever want to get rid of JBL, I'm ready to come in. So that'd be interesting, dude. I wouldn't mind seeing more of him. He was really good on the commentary table. I liked him. And like JBL said, I mean he's a lot better than Mike Adamle. So
Name drop.
all right. Oh God, Mike Adamle's horrible. So oh gosh, following the tag team match, we had the throughout the night. I guess they're bringing back. Sometimes they do this, sometimes they don't. They haven't done this in a while. The app voting things. They did it twice tonight, by the way, or twice yesterday. And the first time was to determine who Randy Orton would be taking on. It was either going to be the Big Show, Kane, or the obvious choice and eventual winner, Seth Rollins and J&J Security. And before we even get into the match, Booker T's introduction of J&J Security and Seth Rollins was great. He was like, Seth Rollins and J&J Security. He was like, oh God, stop. But he even commented, he even said it himself. He got back on the commentary table. He said, that was a good introduction. He even he was like, oh my gosh. I noticed Booker T. I noticed. Booker T, if you're watching, and I highly doubt you are, I noticed how good it was as well. The match really wasn't anything special. It played up a lot with Seth Rollins, avoiding Orton as much as he can, but Orton really was. He just saw it all coming. He beat the crap out of J&J in security, and it was this really cool part where Orton was getting ready to hit the RKO, and Rollins comes racing in and looks like he's going to curb stomp him while he's setting it up, and Orton moves out of the way and tries the RKO Rollins, but he gets out. It was a
Hmm.
decent match. It wasn't. It was a throwaway match, of course. That's what most of these matches are. But because it is leading up to Mania, and of course the rivals really aren't going to get victories over each other. But Orton did get the victory. He RKO'd Jamie Noble and got the win. But it was a quick match that it was just to showcase more dissension between him and Rollins.
I still would have liked to see Rollins or Orton get hit with something.
I
Just
honestly
I felt like
I don't think so. Because we saw that whole big brawl not too long ago.
yeah, but I felt it was just like a handicap match for Orton. Like Rollins wasn't even involved,
True.
really. It was just Orton versus J&J Security.
Yeah,
That's basically what the match was.
yeah, you're right. But like that's what it was. It was just a throwaway match. It was further put there to put further, get a little bit of dissension and momentum for the Orton Rollins match, basically. Because I'm not gonna lie, the match, and I didn't even comment on this. Orton's reaction when he came out was really, I was kind of surprised. I was like, wow, I expected a little bit of a bigger reaction for Randy Orton. I even think he noticed because he was kind of out there like looking around confused, like, wow, what the hell?
Like, wait, you people normally go nuts for me. Now you're not.
Yeah,
What
it's
the hell?
crazy, dude. But I'm excited for the match because for one, I know the match is going to be great. The match between
Oh yeah.
Rollins and the match between Rollins and Seth Rollins. The match between Rollins and Randy Orton is going to be great. And
Dude,
this
that's what
kind
I'll
of
give
further
Rollins.
proved a little bit because Seth Rollins has always kind of played this like weasel character, and that was him trying to use J&J to do his dirty work while he was just trying to weasel his way in there, get a quick curb stomp on Rollins. And I think Orton did get a little hit by Rollins at one point. He like kicked him when he was on the ropes. Like it was a
Something like that.
quick little setup. So I'm a little bit more excited for that match as well because like I just said, it's going to be a great match, and I want to see Orton get his hands on Seth Rollins. I do
You know,
after this Raw.
I'm not a big fan of Rollins on the microphone,
Mm-mm.
but the kid can wrestle.
Yeah, you can.
Yes, I said wrestle. Okay, he proved that at the Royal Rumble when he hit Brock or John Cena with the Phoenix Splash.
Oh yeah, and the
You
Lesnar
remember
Cena
that?
match.
Yeah,
That was a fuck.
Rollins
Phoenix
Rollins can wrestle.
Splash. Yeah, he can. He's probably one of the best
Rollins can
wrestlers, if
wrestle.
not the
He
best at the
can't.
moment.
He's really not that good with his promos, but he makes up for it in the ring.
Hmm. The
So
only thing I,
he,
I wish to see with Rollins is I want to see him by himself. We haven't seen him work by himself. He's always had someone to lean on.
well, maybe hopefully we see him without Jay, without the authority at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I would,
something
I
like that.
know, I would like to see that. Just tell J&J, no, you guys stay out of this. This is between me and him, and just let them go.
Well, the way I think it's gonna go down is maybe with after because I don't want to spoil too much because we're gonna do the prediction show, but I think it's a four. Like a lot of people believe Sting's winning over Triple H. I'm just
Hmm.
saying. And I think with Sting beating Triple H is kind of going to be like the expansion of the Authority, and J&J Security is probably going to disappear because probably at WrestleMania they're going to get beat up in the match. So I think we are going to get to see Rollins by himself after WrestleMania. So I'm excited for that. I hope so at least. So after that match we had, in my opinion, a fantastic match between
My
the
favorite
Divas.
match of the night.
Paige versus Nikki Bella. They
Oh,
put
great
on
match.
a show. It was for the Divas Championship. We had an angle a little bit earlier between AJ and Paige, which was it wasn't anything really special. It was just them kind of discussing the title match. And the main thing is Paige said, if Nikki's going to offer a title match, I'm going to take it unless you want it. I don't know why you would turn down a titles match, but I mean, are you crazy? And then AJ goes, what did you say? You're still playing up to the crazy, which I like that. I like that. That's the little bit of what AJ was because she's practically just become CM Punk of the Divas division, which I hate. I
Hmm.
miss when she kind of used to be this quirky little crazy girl. So whenever someone says crazy around her and she still goes, "What did you say?" I like that because it still shows there's a little bit of the original AJ in there, and she's not just CM Punk's wife anymore. And they were still, buddy buddy and all that. We get into the match. Paige and Nikki really went out there and put on probably the best match of the night.
It definitely was the best match of the night. I'm
And
saying a Divas match is the best match of the fucking night here.
and the fact that it
And
was
I've
Nikki
been,
Bella too. Nikki Bella used to be known as one of the worst Divas wrestlers, and her and Brie really have risen up and they have improved greatly. This was a great match, and not only was the match good, the angle was good with it too. It was a great angle.
was even better.
Hmm.
It
Yeah, go on.
Nikki has come a long way. She really has. Paige, she's been there a year, and
Yeah,
Paige has come, a long way in a year.
heading
You
into her
put the
first
two,
Mania.
yeah, you put the two of them together. You're gonna, I was very critical of the match before it even started. I was like, oh god, Divas match.
They got a
I'm not
lot of
gonna watch
time too,
this.
dude. There was a commercial
Yeah, they
break
did.
between their match. You know when there's a
I
commercial break between a match, it's given a lot of time.
I was like, I'm not gonna watch this match, and then I watched it, and I was like, wow, that
There were
was.
times where it looked like Paige was going to win. Like she hit the rampage on Nikki, and I was like, are they going to give her the title right now? I really
I
thought
was
at one
pulling
point
for
Paige was
Paige.
going to win. Of course you were. You got a crush on her.
Shut up. They don't need to know that.
Everyone has a crush on Paige.
Well, yeah,
But
she is a rocker chick.
so the end of the match, it was really cool what they did. So Paige is on the outside, as is Nikki Bella, I believe, and Brie Bella is walking over to Paige, and then AJ quickly comes over there because that's her partner, and pulls Brie back and smashes her, just pulls her by her hair and smashes her into the ground or the outside of the ring. And Paige, walks up to AJ, right? And AJ just elbows Paige in the face accidentally or not. You be the one to decide. I think the story they're trying to tell is accidentally, though.
Uh,
And immediately sees the disdain. Nikki Bella tosses Paige back into the ring. I think she even hit AJ with the forearm, did she not? I don't know. Maybe she didn't.
uh,
No, I don't think she hit AJ actually. She got back in the ring, and then I think she hit Paige with the forearm, or maybe she just hit her with the
yep.
rack attack. I believe there's a forearm in there though.
She hit Paige with the forearm on the outside, and
Okay.
then knocked her out, and then hit her with the rack attack to get the win.
All right, yeah. So she hits her with the rack attack, gets the win, and then AJ goes to check on Paige. Paige takes her down, and AJ and Paige start boiling, brawling basically, while the Bellas are happy. This is a great segment for the match. This is a great way to be. So far, so good, to be honest. Every match has had a great build-up, if you ask me. The Sting Triple H had a great build-up. Intercontinental Championship, not a great build-up, but it was decent, and it's had a great build-up leading up. So I feel like that forgives it a little bit. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal wasn't a great build-up, but it never really was meant to be. The match between Orton and J&J Security and Rollins was a great build-up for the match, and this right here was a great build-up as well. And you got
Absolutely.
the segment between AJ and Paige, which I'm just gonna call him Paige A for short. You got Paige A, feuding, and now it looks like they're not gonna, work well as a team heading into it. And then of course you got the Bellas, who are twin sisters and work together. And I don't want to spoil too much about SmackDown just in case people are watching it, but there's a great segment on SmackDown between the Divas that even furthers the build for the match. I believe the Divas right now
Hmm.
hashtag give Divas a chance is in the movement.
I like it.
So after the Divas title match, out comes Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg makes his way down to the ring, and probably one of the most ridiculous looking things I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. The commentators try to put it up like only Snoop Dogg can pull off that and all this stuff, and I'm sitting there like, no, no, he can't. Not even Snoop Dogg can pull that off. That is one of the most god awful looking things I've ever seen in my life. Sorry if Snoop Dogg's listening, but woo, buddy.
Sipped on too much gin and juice.
Lord Almighty. So Snoop's out there, doing like a rundown or something. He even mentions like Snoopomania. And then we hear Curtis Axel music play, which I love his theme, by the way. And Axel makes his way down to the ring, and he's like, talk about Snoopomania when we should be talking about Haxelmania. And, him and Snoop, have a little bit of a segment, which leads to the greatest mania of them all, Hulkamania, making his way down to the ring, which was a nice little surprise. It was harmless little fun. Snoop didn't overstay his welcome. It wasn't like one of those horrible segments, and it further gave Curtis Axel a nice moment, even though he was a little bit of a buried thing. But he
Mm.
was in the ring with Snoop Dogg and Hulk Hogan. Okay, that's a pretty big moment. I love this segment. Maybe it's just because I'm a Snoop Dogg fan. It wasn't like Wiz Khalifa though. Snoop Dogg didn't take up like 15 minutes of my time doing a whole rap concert. Snoop Dogg was out there for a couple of minutes, talked about wrestling related stuff, had a segment with a wrestler, and even brought out one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. It was a great
Yeah.
segment. Great segment, and honestly, if WWE needs to do something with Curtis Axel. He's caught fire with this gimmick.
Yes, he has. Everyone's crazy for Axelmania. It's the newest hashtag,
Hmm He's
and
caught fire with it, man. He's done what Damien Mizdow did with the stunt double gimmick, basically.
I like it. I like the way it's going. Maybe
I could see him
WWE
running for
should
the Intercontinental title. Why not?
maybe WWE should take note. Be like, hey, look at this. This guy's blowing up.
Yeah,
Let's
dude.
do something with him.
It makes me think that maybe WWE should do some more gimmicky kind of wrestlers because we saw
Yeah.
how Damien Mizdow got over. We see how Curtis Axel's getting over. We saw how Dean Ambrose got over when he had that lunatic fringe thing going for him before they started making him, a watered down thing that they're doing now. I mean, when his superstars have characters, people are invested basically. It doesn't matter if they're silly or not. It's just a character. Give us some sort of character with these people. That's all I want at least. I feel like people are lacking characters anymore. It's
Because
just like, hey, look, here they are.
it's like everybody's the same
They're
nowadays.
here's a wrestler.
Everybody's the same. No one has their
hmm
own
No, it's all yeah.
face anymore.
It's just the same people anymore. So it's starting to change. So whatever. Leading up to that though, we see Los Matadores and El Torito battling Tyson Kidd, Cesaro, and Natalia in what was called an interspecies match. Now I thought, didn't we see this match on SmackDown last week? I
Believe we
think
did.
this match was on SmackDown, so I don't know why we got a recap of it. Usos were on commentary for this, and Jimmy Uso talked a little bit about his shoulder injury. From what I heard a little bit today, I think I saw this Jimmy Uso, or is it Jay Uso? Which one is it?
It's an Uso.
It's one of the Usos. He has been cleared, so that's good.
Oh,
The
so good for
match,
him.
the match actually was not that bad, to be honest. I don't think
I didn't like it.
it wasn't a bad match. I'm not gonna say it was a great match. Like the action itself was great, but the fact that El Torito is in there taking on Cesaro is a little weird to me. Or it just the tag team. Like we said this last week, they chose the wrong teams, and you can tell pretty much.
Yeah. Huh.
If this was Cesaro and Tyson Kidd versus primetime players, I think it would have went over a lot better. If,
This was the bathroom break
yeah, this was
of Monday
Cesaro
Night
and
Raw. This was
this
just
yeah, this was Cesaro and Kidd versus the Ascension, would have went over better. I really feel so. I do. I really feel like they just chose the wrong teams. It shouldn't have been the New Day. It shouldn't have been Los Matadores. It should have been the Primetime Players, who was a team who recently just returned, in the Ascension, who just debuted. It would have made sense. It makes more sense. The Ascension had a little bit of heat, not a lot of heat, but a little bit of heat on them, and PTP could have used the promotion.
I
I,
do like the primetime
I
players.
don't know what the Los Matadores have done to all of a sudden make them get a WrestleMania match, because as far as I'm concerned, they haven't been relevant doing anything since 3MB, and New Day has just been horrible since they've debuted. So,
Oh,
but the match itself, I feel like the action was fun. It was an all right match. It was fun, but for the tag team titles feud leading up to WrestleMania, it shouldn't have been a match.
mm-mm.
It should have been something
No.
different. Um, it was whatever match. I think El Torito won the match for his team by pinning Natalia.
That was
And
embarrassing for Natalia. I
yeah,
felt that.
I feel so bad for Natalia, because she's honestly probably the best women's wrestler they have.
Oh yeah, and
She's probably
they
the
have her.
best, and
They
she's
have
just
her
a
lose
prop
to a
for her
bull.
feud. She's just a prop for her for in a feud for her husband right now, as is Naomi. I stole that from somebody, by the way. So if someone's gonna call me out, I'm acknowledging I stole that from somebody. But yeah, that's what she is. Both her and Naomi are just props in their husband's feud.
It's
When
it's a
Natalia,
shame too.
yeah, when Natalia could be taking, like what I would like to see after Mania is, depending on who wins the title. And Natalia, I would say, is a heel, so maybe have her feud. Wait, never mind. The title's not on the line. Duh. But Nikki
Duh.
Bella's going to be champion, so maybe see her, take on Naomi, or maybe see Natalia jump in and take on AJ or Paige when they get the title. Build up your divas. You just don't have four divas right now. I
Give
just don't.
Divas a chance.
I don't know how we got back on this segment from the Matadores and El Torito and all that shit. I will say the one highlight of this match that I did enjoy a lot is afterwards. I love how Tyson Kidd, Natalia, and Cesaro work together. How Natalia's just all. I mean, it makes you feel bad because you're like, oh, Natalia's getting picked on again. But she's okay. I mean, they're all discussing it, but it's just great acting on their part. I think all three of them are pulling that gimmick off well. I enjoy it. Some people may be tired of it, but I like it. I think it's great.
It fits. It works.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's awesome. It puts heat on them, and I like it. Cesaro and Kid are like the best friend couple. It's like it's amazing. Their team is awesome, and it's like Natalia is just like that annoying little sister, even though she's a wife trying to join in.
Yeah.
So yeah. Either way, up next we had what seems like the 10th 90th time. I don't know. Swagger takes on Rusev. and this was just a jobber match. I mean, no, it wasn't really a jobber match.
No, it
Rusev,
wasn't.
yeah, I don't.
Swagger
Swagger got in.
Swagger looked really good.
He. The thing is, it's just the reason why it felt like a jobber match to me is like when I look at Swagger and I look at Rusev, I've seen this before. I know how it's gonna end, and I feel like WWE's missed the boat with Swagger here. When he turned face a couple months back in this feud with Rusev, he was red hot. And now it's just like he's nothing. So when he comes back and he got all this damage on Rusev, and a part of me sitting here like, why is Swagger able to do all this damage to Rusev, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Rusev is supposed to be taking on John Cena, and here he is getting beat up by Jack Swagger, who I've witnessed him beat in a matter of seconds many times. And I guess,
Yeah.
I'm happy to see Swagger, because the match itself, like, in the action portion, was good. It was a good match. I enjoyed the match, but again, like with the tag team match we just talked about, for WrestleMania leading up to, I don't think Rusev should have had this much of a problem with Jack Swagger.
Uh-uh. And they wanted to make Rusev look strong going into Mania, and that's what they did with this match.
Yeah, they would have made him look stronger if they would have just destroyed him, but I'm a little happy they didn't because it makes me think that maybe Swagger will get something going for him because I like Swagger. I like his gimmick, and they really played it up on the commentary team, and I'm glad they mentioned it because if they would have kept this storyline going, I think Swagger would still be relevant about how Rusev is the reason why Zeb Coulter is not around right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a complete afterthought. No one even remembers that Rusev kicked Zeb Coulter.
It it was one of those things that happened, and everyone was just like, okay, what's gonna happen next week?
But
And then Swagger basically just fell off the face of the planet again.
But after the match is what really raises this moment up. So
Oh yeah,
Swagger's locking the accolade, and Rusev's not letting go. Out comes Cena. It was just a way to get Cena to come out. Rusev and Cena start brawling, and Rusev just basically, I think he just like smashed him, like tossed him into the barricade, and then eventually like threw him over the announce table.
we kicked the
And
shit out of him.
yeah, he beat the crap out of him. He just threw him over, and then as he was walking away, he even comes back and like just super kicks Cena. What a way to make him look strong. Like the Swagger match, he had a little bit of problems with Swagger, but it was still a strong showing on Rusev's part and Swagger's part as well. But him beating the crap out of Cena afterwards, it showed how strong he is. Like that to me is why it doesn't make sense. How does he have problems with Jack Swagger, but then easily beats the hell out of Cena after the match?
Yeah,
Who is
which
100% and Rusev's most likely winded a little bit. But whatever.
they had to make Rusev look strong. They had to make him look strong to where going into WrestleMania, this is the go home show.
Yeah,
Make make
it
every
makes you
make
still wonder what
everyone
they're gonna
think.
do. Yeah, it makes you
Yeah,
wonder. Like, are they gonna give Cena the United States Championship? I hope
I hope
not.
not.
Or are they gonna give Rusev the win? Let's hope so. So after the Rusev Swagger match with the John Cena interference, we have a Bray Wyatt promo. Out
Yes,
comes the Eater of the Worlds, and just some final words, basically his final words before his clash with the Undertaker. Um, he said stuff, like I think he said, actually, I'm not even gonna say. I think I said I have it right in front of my face right now. He says, "I will take my place among the gods as a new face of fear." It was a great promo, to be honest, and we even had like lightning striking, and like rainfall and all that. Not real rainfall, but the sound of like thunder.
he
Uh,
basically took the what the Undertaker does and just put a new twist on it. And I've been saying this for how long? Bray Wyatt is the master of promos. I'm sorry.
he's got a
The way
gift
he
on that stick.
the way he cuts his promos, you're not touching him. In the ring, there's some things, but not much. Like, uh, that makes you think for WrestleMania, who's gonna win? Do you
Hmm
want to see Bray Wyatt beat the Undertaker, or is it gonna be the Undertaker's coming back, so Bray, you're gonna lose? What do this is one of those matches. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm excited for. I can't fathom what they're gonna do, and I don't envy the guy that has to book this match.
Me neither.
But it was a great segment, and it kind of teased a little bit that I at least felt it was teasing more that Taker was kind of interrupting Wyatt and sending a message to him as well. Still no Taker though, so it seems like we are definitely not going to see him before WrestleMania, which may or may not be a bad thing. Who knows?
Well, we could see him on SmackDown. You
Yeah,
never know.
it's I doubtful.
Oh,
So,
listen.
following that promo, we have Dolph Ziggler taking on Daniel Bryan with Dean Ambrose serving as the special guest referee. Why? Well, because WWE hosted another one of their little app polls where you can vote who would be the special referee for this match. You can choose anybody besides Ziggler and Bryan that was inside the Intercontinental match, and Ambrose, surprisingly, not got the win. The match itself, it was good. It was a good showing between the two. Um, Not as good as I thought it could have been. I feel like if these two can definitely put on a better match than they did on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
But
It was a very fast paced match.
it seemed like they were trying to cram a lot. I don't know. It didn't. Something was off in this match for me. I mean, I don't know if it was fast paced. Because I don't know necessarily if it was fast paced, but it just felt like they weren't putting as much as they could into the match, and maybe that's because they're saving some for WrestleMania. Uh, Ziggler, I believe, from what I understand, this is actually his second clean victory over Daniel Bryan, and I was a little caught off guard when I saw Ziggler pick up a clean victory over Bryan. I was like, what? Like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Caught
No,
me off
nobody
guard.
was.
Clean victory over Daniel Bryan, and then leads to Ambrose hitting Ziggler with the dirty deeds and pulling out a ladder, which I just thought was awesome. Pulling out a ladder and going to steal the title again. And then outrushes Barrett, outrushes Stardust, Harper, R-Truth, all of them. Madness ensues in the ring. Everyone hits like their finisher on each other. And I think it ended with like, who was climbing the ladder?
Ambrose and Stardust.
Was it Ambrose and Stardust? Yeah, it was Ambrose and
Yeah,
Stardust, and Luke Harper pushed it over, and then like the ladder fell on his like leg or something.
something like that. He actually sold it really well.
Yeah,
I
he
think he
sold
may
it
have hurt
really
himself.
well. He might have hurt himself. I don't know. That's why I was like, he sold it either really well or got hurt himself. But I laughed at that. So I hope he sold it well, because if I'm laughing at him hurting himself, I feel bad. But I like the little ending segment there. It kind of leaves an air of mystery about like who's the favorite.
Yeah, it's hard
Some
to
people
pick a
didn't.
winner.
Some people didn't like
It's
the
gonna.
fact that there's not a favorite, but I like the fact that there's not a favorite. Sorry for the squeaking noise. That's my stupid ass chair. I need a WD-40 that bitch.
Hmm, it's it's gonna be that match that leaves you wondering who's gonna win this match.
Yeah,
It's like all the other big matches on the card. Makes you think,
it's a
okay, who's
great build for
gonna?
this match, man.
Oh, absolutely,
hmm
absolutely.
Probably the most well-built match up to WrestleMania.
Oh, of course,
The only one I could
of
argue
course.
would probably be the Divas or Rusev and Cena, but Rusev and Cena kind of had a little bit of a hiccup.
Well,
But yeah. So here's the big part,
ugh.
the big deal, the ending segment of the night.
Well, before you go there with that, I think for those who don't know what have happened today, I think we have to make the
Some
announcement.
big news happened. So before we lead into this ending segment, those of you who are a little bit worried about the WrestleMania main event should have a little bit of a sigh of relief now, because it has been determined and revealed that Brock Lesnar, the WWE World Champion, has re-signed with the WWE. He will no longer be working, or no, he doesn't really have any desire to do MMA or something, from what I understand. And he signed a new contract with the World Wrestling Entertainment, so that's
And
good.
from what he said in the interview, because we watched the interview, what he said was he did this for the fans.
Yeah, he did. I thought that was interesting.
This is Brock Lesnar,
A guy you don't really think cares about the fans.
and he actually said he's like, I did this for the fans. The fans love when I show up because he doesn't really he's not really around that much, and it's I don't know. I think it's a smart move keeping him. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's like he said he couldn't turn down the offer
Well, it makes me wonder
that
how
they
much
put on
was
the
the
table.
offer.
So, excuse me. Um, so it's just wow. What are we gonna see now? what's now? How's the main event at WrestleMania
Yeah,
gonna
it makes you
the
wonder.
who's gonna walk out as champion?
hmm But moving on to this though, we have the ending segment, which was started off with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar coming to the ring, and Paul Heyman cutting yet another great promo. Pretty much describing the manner, how Lesnar is just gonna destroy, decimate, what else, eviscerate, pummel, stuff like that. You know, Reigns, coming WrestleMania. I think he even said something like rename like Reigns' children like Lesnar or something. So, I don't know. He said something like that.
Something like that.
Roman Reigns comes down to the ring, and him and Brock have like this stare down. Uh, boy. Brock Lesnar like holds up the WWE title, and Roman Reigns just like steals the title away from him, and they like. All right, sorry about that brief cut there, nerds and geeks. Chris's phone accidentally cut out there, so just had to do a quick cut there. My apologies for that. Just,
Sorry.
it's just like I was talking about. They were playing like tug of war, and then clicked right off. So that was our bad. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying, it just ended up to the point where like Reigns stole the title from Brock, and Brock grabs the title, and they started playing tug of war. As I read someone else said, and I think right when I say this, everyone else is gonna probably get the same image. It was like two grandmothers fighting over a ham at the store, and it just fits it perfectly. It was just like a bunch of like first graders, you know. No, it's mine. Like what a horrible way to end Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was actually not bad. Revisiting Monday Night Raw tonight, maybe look back and say, look at the show and be, it was actually not a bad show. But
No, it
this
wasn't.
was a horrible way to end the show and did
Oh
no favors for the build for Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. And did no favors for Roman Reigns either. Honestly, I'd be
no.
surprised. And I know you're a big fan of him. I'd be surprised if he walked away as the champion.
I hope he does. Be quite up honest with you. I feel Roman should win, but if I know the WWE, of course they're gonna have a backup plan. So it's
It
hard to
might
say
just be
what
the
they're gonna
best
do.
thing too, dude, man. I mean, I know it's not Roman's fault, but they've done him no favors. Like, you could have done anything. Anything. I mean, Paul Heyman just led you up with a great promo. You could have done anything between these two. Maybe have like a little bit of a brawl and then have a bunch of people separate them. I know it's basic, but it would have worked. It would have
Yeah,
worked.
absolutely.
Could have had anything, and yet you chose to have them play tug of war over the WWE title. Like, oh my gosh.
It sucks.
What a
It
I didn't believe that's how Monday Night Raw went off the air. I
I
really
was
felt
very
like
disappointed.
something went wrong in like my recording of it or something. I was like, nuh-uh. I was like, I must have stopped the recording too soon or it cut off. And then when I Googled it up or YouTubed it and it ended right there, I was like, oh my hell, they really ended it like that.
I feel that they could have went in any direction and tug of war.
Oh
Really?
man.
Who does that? Oh, and before we get off topic real quick, Hall of Fame announcement.
Oh
Everybody knew.
gosh, yes, I didn't even talk about it. I mean, yeah, we already knew about it. There was a Hall of Fame announcement. Kevin Nash, not Diesel. Kevin Nash is going into the Hall of Fame.
Me personally,
He deserves it.
this is what the Chris Omega gimmick is based off of.
Kevin
You know,
Nash, really?
yeah, it's got
I
a
had
lot
no
to do with
idea.
Kevin Nash.
I had no idea.
So yeah, you hear the diesel truck and the theme song, and you hear that, and he comes walking out. It's just like
Mm-mm-mm.
I went. The Omega gimmick was formed off Kevin Nash and the American Badass Undertaker. It's like a combination of the two. The
Huh.
the Kevin the Kevin Nash look. I just ride down on a motorcycle like the Undertaker,
I did
and
not know
it's
that, man.
yeah, and it's pretty cool. Seeing a guy that a guy I watched, a guy that had so much to
Yeah, I
take
love
part
Kevin
in
Nash.
with the Monday Night Wars and you know beating Bob Backlund in 8 seconds for his first ever WWF championship.
Kevin
It
Nash
was
has always been one of my favorites.
oh yeah, mine too. He's an awesome superstar. He's a great guy. So Kevin Nash, if you're listening, congratulations on your Hall of Fame. See you there when me and Steve enter the Hall of Fame when we're probably in our mid 50s.
That'll be a time. Who knows if Kevin Nash will even be there? Dude's
Well,
old already.
hopefully he doesn't tear his quad.
Oh Lord, let's hope not. Um, one last thing before we end this off, because I don't have much else to say about the Roman Reigns segment. Um, so there's a little bit of a tragedy that that happened. Oh boy, there's a car that just started up in the background too. My apologies for that if you hear it. But there's a little bit of a tragedy that happened not too long ago. I think it was over the weekend, and
Yeah.
I found out right away. Actually, I was actually at work when I found out about it, and I was just on Facebook and I saw the first news report of it, and I was like, what? Um, God, I'm trying to remember his name because I want to be respectful, you know. It was like El Pero,
Hold on.
right?
Look for it. Somewhere in my notes.
It's in your notes. Okay, he's got his notes.
It's uh
It's like El Pero Jr. or something like that. I remember.
hold on.
Okay, hold on. How clear are your notes?
I got it right here.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
It,
Wrestler
it
Hijo del Pero
yeah, it was.
Agueo. I
Yeah, it
think I
was
pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. I'm not good at Spanish.
El Pero Aguio Jr. Jr. is
Yeah.
Jr. by the way, because the other guy I don't think is dead. But it was a tragedy. I don't want to make a joke out of it. It was a tragedy that happened in AAA, which is the Mexican WWE, basically. It's a big Hispanic company. I believe it was Rey Mysterio's first match outside of WWE too. He teamed up with, I believe, oh boy, El Tigre or Tigre something. He was Tiger. I know it was Tiger something. To take on Pero and Manic from TNA actually. And I don't think there has been a confirmation on what exactly went down or what caused it. But from what just my take on it, because I've seen the video, it looked like after he took that drop kick and he landed on the ropes, like something might have happened there because he was just limp after that.
Yeah, and that, as a wrestler,
Yeah,
you
dude,
don't
as an
want
aspiring wrestler,
that's
it kind of like tears you in the gut.
that's just, you can't watch it, but then like you can't just you don't want to think of the worst. You want
Hmm.
you want people to come out okay after their matches, and when something like that happens, it takes a toll on the entire wrestling community and
Yeah,
in
it's
general,
crazy, man.
not
I
just
never even seen this guy wrestle, and I don't know him or anything. So, but it was a sad moment. It really hit me. It affected me a lot.
it goes to show, this is why uh, they say don't do any of this stuff at home, because it stuff like this does happen. They're not saying it to be a bunch of jerks. They're saying it to look out for your well-being. And this sucks that it happened,
I have a
but
hard time telling people not to do it when I did it.
well, we were dumb back then. So it just sucks for
Yeah,
everybody
it was
in the
it's a
wrestling
tragedy
community.
in the wrestling world, and I kind of feel bad for Rey Mysterio because he's like receiving death threats now and all that.
Yeah.
It sucks. I knew it was gonna happen right when I heard about it. But other than that, I don't think there's much going on wrestling news wise. So I don't have much to cover in wrestling news world. If you have anything you want to mention,
Uh, the
anything
only
you
thing I the only thing I know going around are a bunch of rumors from with Samoa Joe coming to WWE next month.
Oh yeah, there's
Um,
that rumor.
there's another rumor, possibly. I doubt this is gonna happen, but they're saying AJ Styles could possibly be the next one to join.
Oh boy,
I
that'd
don't
be
know.
crazy.
I don't know. Um, but AJ would lose a lot with New Japan Pro Wrestling. I know that,
Yeah.
and I think AJ's a lot more happier where he is
Yeah, I
than
don't think AJ would want to go, to be honest.
So just keep an eye out. You got the Briscoes coming, possibly.
Possibly Briscoes,
Uh,
possibly Samoa Joe. I
Maria
think
Kanellis, possibly. She
maybe.
might become.
I don't think
She
she'll
might be.
go. I don't think she'll go unless Mike Bennett goes, and I don't think WWE wants Mike Bennett at the moment.
Well, I read a rumor that she might be going to NXT, so we'll see what
Who
happens with
knows?
that.
Young Bucks is another person that I've heard some things, but I don't know.
Oh,
They've already declined WWE once, so I don't know if they would decline them again. But I don't know much about anything else. But so hopefully Chris is gonna watch NXT because there's a big NXT event this week. It's gonna be Finn Balor, aka Devitt, taking on Kevin Owens for the NXT Heavyweight Championship. That's gonna be a good match. So hopefully you're gonna watch that so we can cover that one. Um, Impact was good last week. He didn't cover that, unfortunately. Apologies for the
no.
noise again. But other than that, since there's noise going on in the background, I'm just gonna end it real quick. I don't want to have it go on for too long. So that's just been a review of Monday Night Raw. Sorry for a little bit of the interruption at the towards the end between the Roman Reigns thing. Something happened with Chris's phone there, but no biggie. So we are going to be doing the prediction show this Saturday, though, for sure. It'll
Hmm.
be me, Chris, and hopefully Johnny, and then doubtful on Sunday, but most likely on Monday we'll be doing the WrestleMania 31 review.
I mean, I know I'm down to try to do it
I
Sunday
mean,
night.
I'm down to
So
try to do it Sunday as well. If we all can do it Sunday, I'm down to do it Sunday. It just all depends on if everyone is able to do it by the time we've all watched it.
yeah,
But I'm down for that. Other than that, though, I got nothing else to say. So prediction show Saturday, WrestleMania 30 Sunday or Monday. Other than that,
31.
31. My apologies. Other than that, my name's been OMG WTF LOLFTWBRB, otherwise known as the future of professional wrestling, Stephen Pym. With me, the last biker riding Chris Omega. This has been a review of Monday Night Raw, and we'll see you guys later.
Later.